I'm Heather McChesney with Homes with Heather at Keller Williams First Realty. The most common pricing mistakes that every home seller should avoid is that they want to price their home to negotiate down with a buyer. They think that the buyers are going to come in with this low offer, and so they want to price it too high so that the buyers come in so that they can negotiate more. So they might want $10,000 less, but they're actually pricing it $10,000 more. And buyers are actually not doing that. They are coming in only looking at houses that are fairly priced. It takes 24 hours to actually make a decision whether they want to look at a house. And that's the time that it takes from the house getting on the market on the MLS and through a search engine. Sometimes they're Googling houses. And that first 24 to 48 hours is super imperative that houses are priced right, because we want more buyers to come in there. So that's the number one reason why buyers don't come in, is because the houses are priced too high. And they won't even come in and negotiate because they don't think that there's any wiggle room. And once it's after 48 hours, then houses have become not as attractive. And then when they're priced too high, they sit 14, 21 days. 21 days, they're stagnant. And then buyers are looking at that house saying, okay, what's wrong with it? And what can I pick out? And then they'll start looking at the house again. And now they're looking at the scratch marks. They're looking at things that you as a homeowner don't necessarily see, or as a seller, you might not necessarily see. And it wouldn't have been important to the buyers had we priced the house perfectly the first time. The second biggest mistake that sellers make is that they want full price or full value for any additional things that they've added to their house. It's really important that you plan before you do any of these big pricey additions. Sometimes with a basement remodel, it can be $40,000 to $50,000, but it doesn't actually add that much value to your home. You're really priced to the market around you, other houses that have sold in that area. The third biggest mistake that sellers make is turning a blind eye on outdated appliances. Sometimes sellers think that the nostalgia of these cute older appliances are what's going to sell the house. But in reality, if your whole house is not the cute Victorian house with the Victorian appliances and the Victorian style and everything is matching, that's going to very much limit your buyer pool. But at the same time, there's not very many buyers that want the exact same thing that might make you feel nostalgic. Number 4 is pricing your house according to what the seller wants as opposed to what the buyer's needs are. It is really easy to think that you can price according to your own financial situation and needs, and you want to make sure that you pay off the extra credit card, and you want to buy a house that might be just a tad over your budget, and you might want to price your home too high to get more money out of it. And that's not thinking of the buyer's needs. The next person in your home is going to be that buyer. So we want to really focus on what the buyers need, and pricing it in the market value is what makes better sense. The fifth most common mistake that sellers make when pricing their home is being fearful of pricing to sell. So a lot of times a seller might have to price their house a little bit lower in order for the house to move quickly. And that could be a job change, that can be a need to move out of the state, some big traumatic things can happen, but it could also just mean that you're ready to move on. But pricing to sell is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're pricing it so low that buyers are going to come in and steal you dry, and it doesn't mean that you're going to be leaving any money on the table. What it means is that we're going to price it competitively so that buyers come in, and there's going to be more buyers in that pool because it's going to be priced a little bit lower. It creates a little bit of a frenzy, and then we can get sometimes even above asking price and multiple offers, especially in the hot market that we're in Longmont. One of the things that I love about my job is that I get to help sellers make the right decision on pricing their home. I can even come in before you're ready to sell, whether it's a year or 2 years before, and you're looking to price out maybe whether it's worth finishing up your basement, or whether it's better we have say a family has $20,000. Where should I put that money? I'm happy to always come out and talk with those sellers and say, okay, I think that the best bang for your buck would be a kitchen remodel. Or hey, let's put $20,000 into refinishing a floor or putting something else down. Whether it's you want to move really quickly to get into your next house because it's next to the golf course and it's summertime in Longmont and it's a beautiful time, or it's because there's a great mountain view, whatever makes your heart get excited, I want to get you to the next place. So we'll price your house right so that you're not leaving money on the table, so you don't feel like you're leaving money at the table.